Hi everyone, welcome back to Creating with Keita. All right, we are at home in my kitchen because I wanted to show you something and actually encourage you to go on this journey with me. I'm learning to make soap, okay, but I'm also using a very interesting ingredient, and that is tallow. Tallow is created from beef fat. So, I have some beef fat. Y'all, it looks so creepy. I've done it before, so this isn't my first time, but I want to share it with you guys because I love the results I've gotten. And just so you can see, here's the soap. Wait, let's do the hand. Does that help? I don't even know if that really helps, but this is it. It's only been aging a day. It looks good and smells good, but right now, let's set that to the side. I just want to show you guys how to render tallow. Tallow can be used in soap. It can be used in lotions and creams. You can also cook with it like you would do lard, but it's actually a great byproduct for people who already, process, I used the right word, process their cows and stuff like that. So if you're interested in learning how to render your tallow from beef fat, continue to watch. And as a matter of fact, like, comment, and subscribe too. And if you have any tips for me, just let me know. Comment below. I'm interested in all the tips. So first thing you need, go to your butcher, beef fat. Y'all, it looks crazy, but it produces a great product. It really does, but all right. Then you're gonna need some salt. Listen, you're not seasoning the beef fat. You're using it to draw out the impurities and any other of the beef and anything that's left behind when the fat separates from everything else that's going to go in the bottom. Salt. And just get some very basic salt, y'all. Very basic salt. I have a funnel and a jar because you're going to store. I store my tallow in a glass jar. Now, you're not going to like water bath or process it or anything like that. You're simply gonna pour the hot tallow in here and be done. Okay, so if you have some used big jars like this would be a perfect way to reuse them, excuse me. So these two, but if you don't have a funnel, that's fine. It's just my preference, okay? If your beef fat comes big like this, you're gonna need to cut it. My usual guy wasn't at the market today, so I didn't get a chance to ask him to grind it, but that's okay. I'm gonna show you guys how I cut it. So, get a knife, a nice knife. Then you will also need, oh, I don't have the label on anymore, cheesecloth. I got this one. It's about 6 yards of cheesecloth from Hobby Lobby. So, but I'm sure you can find it wherever. But if you don't know where to find it, I found mine at Hobby Lobby. You're going to need, now this is a big strainer because I have so much. You can also use one of the smaller strainers. So get a strainer, nice, with very little, it's gonna filter out. It's gonna be used to filter out the beef byproduct. And it's gonna actually separate, excuse me, let me say it correctly. It's gonna separate the beef and the actual drippings of the fat and stuff like that you're gonna use to process the tallow. Okay, and you're going to need to be near some water. So if you don't have a sink nearby, or maybe your water, something's wrong with it or whatever, get a bottle of water. Or you actually may need a few of them. I'm luckily in my kitchen, so I won't be using this, but I just have it here for you guys for display. Make sure you have some water nearby. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do, and I'm gonna switch around, is cut up. Oh, I forgot something. Cut up let me finish my thoughts. We're gonna cut up the tallow. Where am I going? We're gonna cut up the beef fat, y'all. We're gonna cut it up into small pieces. I use a crock pot. Let me be specific. I prefer to use a crock pot and let it simmer for several hours. It's gonna simmer for 6 to 8 or so hours, right? This is a lot, so it's probably gonna simmer for more than that. So this is definitely gonna be a day or two process. Some people, maybe if you have less or using a small amount, you can do it on your stove, but honestly, I'm just gonna put it in the crock pot, set it in. I shouldn't say set it and forget it, but you guys understand. I'm gonna set it, come back to it periodically, and I'll show you the process. One more thing, and I'm steady here touching it, and I did not share it with y'all. you need a bowl. Now I'm using a big stainless steel because I think I bought about 6 pounds of beef fat from our local butcher here in DC. Actually, shout out to Eastern Market. And I'll actually put their information below. They've been great. But if you just have a regular size bowl, actually a large, I used the first time a big Pyrex bowl, and I can't seem to find it. But if you have a bowl that's maybe a little smaller than this, that'll help, because this is where you're going to filter out and process the tallow. Just to abbreviate things for you, the tallow is going to rise to the top. The waste and water and salt is going to float to the bottom. All right. But off we are now. Now we're going to cut the beef fat. All right, friends, we are back. Now I'm going to tell you what else I did. I thought about, obviously, gloves. That's up to you. This time, look at that. This fat is fresh. I got some pieces I may not cut up. I'm going to actually just put this right in my crock pot. I forgot I actually already had on. Some of these smaller pieces, like, we don't need to cut that. That's fine. Cut. There we go. I'm going to cut these down. I may actually use a different knife. So you want to definitely cut down your beef fat pieces just into smaller pieces so they can cut and cook. You're going to cut them so they can cook. Excuse me. I'm all over the place. Yeah, I'm going to get another knife. I am going to get another knife, but it's also fat, so it will render down. And honestly, you don't have to cut it either. It's just going to take a little longer if you don't cut it. That was the lesson I learned the first time. You could probably cut them down smaller than that. All right. And so I don't bore you all or cut my fingers off, I'm going to go ahead. See, that's why we covered it. Cover the table, because you're going to drop beef. Boom, boom. Ooh, look at that big piece. Ooh. But we're going to cut all of that up. And then look at that. So during the rendering process, this part will cook off, and then this will all separate. Some people also like to make a beef broth out of this, because there is still beef pieces attached. I have not tried that yet, but I encourage you all to try it and report back. All right, next shot, I should be showing you all what to do with the crock pot. All right, now I'm telling you honestly, I got a little lazy. So you do see some big pieces mixed in with some small pieces. But now, yeah, I always got to make a mess, y'all. I'm going to add in your water. I'm probably going to get another container of water, because I actually have my crock pot already going. I think we got it. Ooh, that's a lot. That's a lot. Okay, we're going to stop there. Looks good. That was a lot, y'all. That was 6 pounds. I'm hoping I don't regret this. And then putting a liberal amount of salt so everything will drain down. We're going to put a little bit more water on there. You're going to finagle this around a little bit. There we go. There's room. There's room. There we are. All right. Eesh. I hope everybody's not grossed out, but this is the process. All right. So this is when it's in the crock pot, and the oils, the beef fat will start to brown. You can actually see this piece here. Let me turn my camera so you can see a little bit. This piece is actually starting to brown a little bit. So yeah, there you go. I added salt. We got a lot of water, maybe. And I'll show you during the process. What's gonna basically happen is that the fat will start to break down. The gristle and such will go on the bottom, and the actual fat, you can actually start to see it now. I don't know if it comes up on camera, But you can see some of the fat rising now. All right. And I have mine, actually I have mine on low, good. Set it, and there we are. Next time, next scene should be the process of everything starting to break down. Hey everybody, all right, we're back. And I just want you to see how great this looks. Now you can already see the fat and the water and everything, juice coming together. That's gonna separate when I start to strain it. I have it on low right now because I did go run some errands. Right there, it's looking good. It's running clear. Well, that part's gonna dump off, but yeah. Again, I wish I would have had them grind it up for me instead of cutting it. Maybe I'll make an investment or have a special blender or something. But all of this is gonna render down into fat. Well, broth. Let's call it a broth. All right, and when I start to strain it, I'll show you all as it goes. But this was after, I would say, about 2 hours, because I took Cashmere to the dog park. But this was after about 2 hours. And you can see the meat and everything is browning, but it's going to start to separate real soon. I may actually drain some of this off so to help some of it break down more. All right. If you actually want to see some of the pieces, and they are very smushy. Not as soft yet, but they are getting there. You're going to have a lot of tallow out of this, I believe. All right, friends, we are back. And as you can see, I have my beef fat cooking right here. And then over here, I have now brought out my spoon, or I guess in this case, it's a ladle. So I do have 2 layers of cheesecloth here, right? I stretch them out. Now your bowl, depending on what size you use, may not be as big. And also, you don't have to do it this soon. I just, I'll be honest, I'm a little impatient. I'm kind of nosy to see what's going on. But I also want to show you guys. So, hey, we're going to figure out what happens. Ooh, look at that. All right. So, we're going to start uncovering this. And if anyone wants to know what it smells like, honestly, it smells like hamburgers right now. So what you're going to do, press down, grab up, and just let it filter through. And so far, so good, because a lot of my pieces are still whole. And you see, I'm still picking up a few small pieces there. I'm doing this now because I realize, or I feel like maybe I use too much water. And I really want to make sure everything is breaking down. Let's do it again. Look at all that. So let's see, so you can see the tone of it. And right now this is clear, but if there are any impurities, you see how it's picking up? Let's see if I can bring this a little closer. See, it's picking up little pieces of ground beef and stuff. So those will be filtered out. And then the bottom, we will have more of the water and beef fat that will rise. You see they're starting to disintegrate down. Now, the first time I did this, as this all started to cook down, I actually took my immersion blender and started letting that chop up some of the pieces, and that made it go a lot quicker. But this time I have a lot more beef fat, so I may not worry about it right now. And to any of my experts possibly tuning in, I hope I'm not doing this too early. I'm still in the learning stages, but I wanted to, I felt like I said, it was just a little bit too high. And honestly, it's probably too much beef too. I probably could have separated this, but hey, we're still learning. But I want some of these pieces to really break down. It's looking good though, looking nice, looking clear. All right, I'm gonna push that down in there. So that'll finish. Now I feel a little bit more better. It's late at night. I didn't want this to be overflowing. So I was like, let me go ahead and pull some water, some of the juices off of here. All right. So I'm gonna recover that. Now it is still on high. I'm gonna redirect this this way. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit so you guys can see. So now you see the cheesecloth is doing its job. It's keeping the impurities out. And so it's a strainer. And now you can see, boom, there we are. Okay. And there we are. This is not all of it, okay? I just want you guys to kind of see early in the process what it looks like. And you see even now it's starting to settle a little bit. You can almost see the separation of the watery fats, excuse me, the watery part, and then the tallow and stuff that's here. And as the tallow rises, the salt and water are going to go to the bottom, and any other impurities I will have missed will also fall to the bottom. But right now, we're still cooking. So I just want you guys to catch that early part. And I still have it going. I zoom, excuse my hand. Zoom back out so y'all can see. And I feel better now because it's not floating to the top as much now. So, see, there we go. Yeah. So now it's looking good. Yeah. This is exciting. So yeah, we can still see it, still looking good, but I'm not gonna pull any more off. I just didn't want it all resting right there at the top of the crock pot, and make sure it had room to do more of what it needs to do. All right. Okay, everyone. I realized I made a small mistake in recording, but other than that, we're still on course. Now, as you see, I have more of the beef tallow oil broth situation here, but I forgot to film the process. But what I did, you can still see some of the pieces here, as I did before. I took the big pieces out, put them all over here. This strained, you're gonna take it, squeeze all of that out, right? And then you will be left, ooh, I'm about to make a mess. You will be left with all this goodness. So let me do that now. I'm actually gonna take this, put that over here on the side. This, put this on the side. There we go. And you can almost start to see the process happening, right? So you see on the bottom, you can see the sediments. It's kind of dark there in the middle. And you can almost see the oils and everything start to separate. So it almost looks like 3 layers. Okay, so what's gonna happen is I'm gonna take this, put this in the refrigerator. As it cools, the actual good stuff that we want, the tallow, will start to rise. It's gonna harden, and below that will be either like water, debris, just basic sediment that we don't want, okay? And then I'll show you what's going on with the crock pot. That's just round 1. 2 is still, the crock pot is going. I have to be honest, I didn't film it because some of the pieces get a little nasty looking as I'm cooking and cutting. So yeah, I'm probably gonna edit this heavily. So as you can see here now, oof, I don't want to pick that up. I have chopped up some of the pieces of the beef. Gonna let that render itself down, let some of the fat and stuff go through. It's looking a little cloudy now, but it'll start to go clear in a few. And then I added more salt and water. And while that's going, I'm gonna go ahead and let this get solid. All right. Hi friends, welcome back. It is ungodly o'clock in the morning, and as you see, everything is starting to break down. I came in, separated the first batch of oils. They're in the refrigerator, so I'll show you guys that in a second. But this is the leftover big pieces. I ended up pulsating them and letting them cook a little bit longer. See, I still have one big piece here. But I'm going to run this through the strainer, and this will be, I guess we can call this skim number 2 or batch number 2. But you can obviously see now where the oil and the actual beef fat particles, the leftovers, are now sitting at the bottom. I'll show you the tallow that's in my refrigerator in a second. Okay, and here is batch number 1. Like I said, it's still early, and when I try to press it, okay, it's hard. It's still a little soft for me, so I'm gonna let it sit a little bit longer. But you can tell that the actual tallow block has, I'll let you see it that way, separated. So below this is actual just water and debris. So yeah, but I'm gonna put this back in the fridge, let it solidify a little bit more, and strain off the other beef tallow, so we can go ahead and get that one starting to harden up too. Okay, I just wanted you guys to see the end process. The in process during the process, yeah. So what we have here, so these two are the remaining of the batches of the 6 pounds of beef fat. All right, so these two are after I kind of pulsated or shredded the remaining of the beef fat. So those two, and then this, I think I did record it, was the first, I guess when I first drained off the chunkier pieces. So this one's already starting to solidify. This has actually been sitting overnight. And then these two are what I did this morning at Oak. Yeah, exactly. Okay, we see that? Ungodly o'clock in the morning. Exactly. But I want y'all to see that, and then I think this is gonna be best to explain. This is why I did this in the clear one, because you can start to see the separation. So when it hardens like that, actually that is really how this looks underneath. So the top part is gonna turn white. All the good stuff that we want is gonna float to the top. All the stuff we don't want is gonna float to the bottom. Gonna pop it out, and we'll have a product that looks like that. All right, so stay tuned. I'm gonna put these two in the fridge, and then I will have what I believe is called tallow cakes, or just basically big chunks of tallow. We'll look at them and see if we need to render them one more time. More than likely I will. That's what I did the last time, just to get rid of any other beef impurities and also the beef smell. It is much lighter now. I think my house does just smell like hamburgers, but it's just me and a dog, so we're good. All right, but I just want you guys to see what it looks like. And this one was the last remnants, and it had more of the beef fat sediments in it, so I don't expect this one to be the cleanest. This one was above that, so this may be clean too. I'm expecting more sediments on the bottom of this tallow cake. This one, not as much. Then this one, I'm definitely expecting to be pretty clean. But what I want to do is when they all come together, harden up how I want them, I'm going to break them all up, drain off the waste, put them all in one, and I want to cook it down one more time just to get any extra impurities off, and then we'll be able to process it to make tallow and store it for, in my case, I'll be using it for soap, but you can also use tallow for cooking and whatever else. Okay, stay tuned. All right, family, we are back. My tallow, well, listen, I cheated already with that one, okay? But 1, 2, and 3, actually I cheated with this one too, and tried to loosen it up a little bit because, well, my tripod broke, and now I am gonna have to get creative on how I show you guys the process. But that is it. Oh, I do want to show you this, and this is why I did it in the clear glass, so you guys could see tallow or the fat rise, because someone's saying the fat rise. Some of us are visual. This Maybe you can make a beef broth out of it. I'm not sure. It's not good for what I need. I'll put it like that. If someone knows what to do with it, let me know, because I don't know. But if I can use it, that's great. But otherwise, it's waste. This is what you want. All right, all of this at the top. And I was online talking to some people, and my tallow got a little soft. It's still good. All right, so what I want to do now, I'm going to change my setup and show you all the bottom of this one. So if you remember, this one was when I skimmed off the top, and it should be, this one I expect to be pretty, really nice, and not a lot of sediment at the bottom of the tallow cake. This one, this one's going to be dirty. Actually, I already know this one's not as dirty as I thought it was going to be, but it's going to be dirty. And then this one should be in between. Probably going to have a little impurities. Actually, we can cheat with this one because it's clear. Let's see. Boom. So you can see the sediment is already at the bottom. There we go. So this one is not bad either. The benefits of clear. But all right, let me switch my setup, and we're going to take these out and prep them for our next. We're going to do another melt and cleanse. Rendering. Cleaning, rendering. I'm not sure what the word is. We're going to do another rendering of the fat, just to make sure all the impurities and the beef smell. And actually, the beef smell is pretty much out of here now. But we're going to just clean it one more time, just for sanity's sake. How about that? All right, hopefully, like I said, I had to cheat with this one. So, ooh, okay, good. So you get the cake. So this is my beef tallow cake. I'm going to sit it on the table, on my plate in this case. And so you see a little bit of brown. And all we're going to do, scrape that off. We don't want any of that to go forward. So we're going to scrape that off. Hopefully the camera's staying good. Woo. Sorry, y'all. I'm trying to hold this in. I'm going to have to go get another tripod. Scrape all that off. We want it to be really clean. Oops. There we go. And it's actually really solid, which is good. All right. That's it. And so now, give me that a little bit. Let's go over it one last time. We're going to get in there. Okay, don't re-cootify. All right, that looks a whole lot better. Now, what if I sit you here? Sorry, y'all, I'm having to be a little bootleg here. I'm going to pick it up. Ooh, because it's starting to melt a little bit. All right, I'm going to show you all in a second. Broke it up. And it's going right back in the pot for the second process. And just so you can see what's left, all of that is sediment, salt, water, everything I can't use for soap making. I'll put it like that. Now, if you are a homesteader or someone who deals with this often, please let me know if I can use it for anything other than, obviously not soap making, but if I can use it for something else, that would be great. All right, here is, move the shadow here so y'all can see. Look how clean that one is right out of the pot. I mean, I don't see any brown or anything. It is wonderful. This was the one out of the clear container. So there we go. All the sediment went to the bottom. I'm just gonna break it up. Really don't even need to do that. Actually, there you can even see in the middle. Look how clean that is. That's gorgeous. It's all getting soft now. So I can really just break it up. Oh my gosh. Well, it feels like Play-Doh. It's amazing. Perfect. Ooh. All right. Let me stop making a mess and get to the third piece. Last one is the big one. I'm anticipating this one to be clean also. So we'll see. Hold please. All right. I'm telling you now, I'm a little disappointed in this one. But I think I didn't have a lot in here, so it didn't get a chance to separate really well, like how the deepness of this one was really deep, so it allowed the sediments to fall further from the actual tallow that I wanted, right? This one, it was not as high, so like if I had filled it up to here, I feel like more would have dropped down. And now we're just gonna get the cooties off. Get that all out of there. I don't know if we're gonna need to do another pass or not. I'm hoping not, but it's not terribly bad. But not as clean as the other one. Yeah. So, all right, I'm not gonna worry about those. They will all kind of fall to the bottom. So there we go. I'm gonna take that, put that in there, get that ready for the next crock pot rendering. I'm gonna prep the other part of this. So yeah, same thing. There we go. You can still see it's clear, and then at the very bottom, and also for those who want to know, this is almost like a jelly substance. All right, so let me get the rest of that out. So not bad. Not the cleanest, not the dirtiest either, so not bad at all. All right, let me finish this and show you the crock pot. All right, neighbors, family, friends, everybody, if you followed this far along, this is all of the lard tallow, goodness gracious, from the 3 containers. It's looking like a lot. Now, what else is in here is water and more salt. I'm gonna do one more cook down, if you will, rendering of this to make sure all the impurities are out. And we're gonna put it into one of the containers again when it solidifies up, and then I'll be back. But in here is the first round of tallow out of those 3 containers, water and salt, doing it all over again. This time it's gonna cook, it's gonna cook much quicker because it's just the fat, no meat, anything else, right? Actually, you can see it's already starting to shake down. All right, there you go. And you hear my dishwasher in the background because you need to clean as you go. All right, next shot will be straining and re-rendering. Yeah, we're gonna call it re-rendering. And here it is, the last render. You can see it's so clear. You can see my reflection. Yeah. Now it's still gonna separate because I did pour the water and salt in there to draw out any future impurities. But honestly, when I did it last time, I didn't get the beef. I'm gonna call it beef jelly like I did last time. Only thing I got was salt water and very, very little impurities. And just for proof, here is the cloth and the strainer that I used. So there you go. And this will harden overnight, and we'll have a nice clean block in the morning. Hey everyone, all right, it's the final tallow. Da -da -da -da. Da -da -da -da. Okay, that's all we got. But this is it. And I'm just gonna kind of scrape around the edge a little bit. See if I can get this. At some point, I am gonna find a perfect kind of thing, a way to get this tallow out of here. So lift out of here, come on. Oh, it's deep, oh my gosh. There we go. Okay, so y'all see all of this solid goodness, and that up under there's nothing but water at this point. All right, make sure I'm in shot. Now you remember last time, I'm gonna just pick some pieces off. You can see how white that looks. Oh, it looks so good. And yes, I have another tripod. Woo woo. Look how clean that looks. Oh, and even the water that's coming out, that's nothing but salt and water. But let me stop before I make a mess. I may actually have to cut this because this is too big. Oh, it's deep. Okay. Hold on, I'm gonna cut this. I thought I was gonna like this bowl for my tallow production, but I don't think so. At your final tallow, you want it to be hard. Can you see? Yes, in the shot. Whew, there we are. Look at that, nothing but white. And that bottom is crystal clear. Crystal clean. Now, some people at this point break this up, put it in a mason jar, and let it go. But myself, I'm gonna melt it down because I want liquid. So I'm gonna I'm just gonna melt it down one more time and put it in the mason jar. All right, so look at that, y'all. Now that is nothing but water. Amazing, absolutely amazing. It's clear. At this point, it is ready for use. Look at that. Oh my gosh, it's amazing. Clear, not really a scent to it. It's perfect. It is done. I'm gonna siphon some of this out of here. we're not letting any any big chunks go to waste. You hear me? I want all 6 pounds of fat or whatever it is. The tallow I rendered from my 6 pounds of fat. Got you a piece, Lord. You know, I'm gonna put this on the thing and I'm gonna pour this over and get those last bits and melt it down. Show you guys what it looks like. Be right back. All right, and that is tallow, the final tallow. And so what I'm gonna do now is just melt it down, put it in a jar, and that will be it. I'll be back. This won't take long at all because it's nothing but the fat. This is already going on high heat. It's gonna be done in no time. Well, friends, family, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, wherever this is being shared, here it is, what we want. The beef tallow. All right. So now we're just gonna take this, I'm gonna swirl you all over. This was my original. Ignore that label, but this is my original one, so this is going to be a standby right now. But I wanted you all to see just how clear this is gonna work up to be. Right, fam? Let's see if I can pick this up. It was a little hot. I'm just gonna scoop a few in before I completely go to town and pick this up. But do y'all see how clear and beautiful that is? It's amazing. Amazing. Alright, and I think I am actually going to need my second container. Look at that. Oh my gosh. And we are still so very full over here. Be right back. Here's the final result, family. 3 jars. 2 very large. I'm gonna say I think these are the quart ones, and then 1 pint, but all full of tallow. Now this one I repurposed because it is still a very good jar, but I don't need it for granola. And then this one and this one. So these will all harden and they will be ready to use. I'll leave details below about how much each one weighs. And yeah, so that's it. Thank you guys. If you have watched to the end, you are a trooper. I'm going to go edit this now. And y'all have a great evening, great morning, or whenever you're watching this. Y'all be blessed. If this is your first time on my channel, please like, comment, subscribe. And if you have any tips or want to share anything, that would assist me in trying this again or anything like that, please comment below. Thank you guys. Have a great one. Bye.